Welcome back to the Five Dot Loft, where the process is the story. I'm Al Clark. This time we're looking at the Oxi One MK2 and how it's interacting with my modular system. This is not a walkthrough or a complete tutorial on the Oxi One at all. What we're doing here is just taking a look at some of the generative features that I've been using as it interacts with the modular. Check it out. Okay, so for this first one, I want to use the generative mode in combination with the random mode. So what we'll do is we're in gen mode here, and we'll start with a single pulse, right? Boom. And of course I'm using, as we said, I'm using the Make Noise NUS system on track number 1, on track number 2. I've got plats. In track number 3, I've got rings. And then I've got a MIDI bass on track 4. All right, let's go to another pulse here. Remember, Euclidean mode is attempting to take the pulses and fit them into the bar. Okay, so if I go to 3 and 4, okay, and I'll go to performance mode and give me my 4 on the floor kick. Hear what's going on here. I've got 16th notes on the kick and 8th notes on the pulses. Back to track number 1. Now if I go 5 pulses, listen. Oops. If I go 5 pulses, you get that kind of syncopation. Now, watch this. With this rhythm set on these single notes, I can go to this random mode, okay? And I can set it to just affect the pitch. And I have it set in a 50% random, set to pitch to go over approximately a fifth. And I'm in E Mixolydian mode here. Okay, interesting, but still not interesting enough, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in these notes with ties. And you don't hear any change yet, right? Because this is affecting the modular, and I don't have anything tied into to affect the note length. But if I now go to arpeggio mode and turn that on, you get this sort of instant generative, not generative, but random pattern that was generated. Okay, and I can go to performance mode, add my plats voice, add my rings voice, yeah. Set this octave down. Back to performance mode, where I can control my mutes. All right, so this next one is about the performance mode again, but more about the accumulator. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Go to track number 1. I've got a simple arpeggiator that's not generated from arpeggiator mode, but just a simple arpeggio. 1, 3, 5, 7. Where are we? We're in Euclidean again. Okay, fantastic. All right, so that's coming out of the multi-wave. And then let's go over to track number 3, which is identical, and this is coming out of rings. So go to performance. And that's sort of the cool thing about Oxi too, is that, you know, when you're playing it with the modular, you can get these kind of interesting simultaneous lines going that you can play with. Okay, and then let's add that little cowbell thing going on. Okay, now what's interesting, let's go over to track number 2. I've just got these 2 notes here. Let's see what this accumulator thing does. So I hold the note, okay, page over, hold the note, page over, and I'll go over to this accumulator, and I have it set up so I can now bring it up and what it's doing is it's coming up by 2 semitones, but it's only reaching up to a 5th, but what it's essentially doing, it's wrapping around, so it's playing the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th. And what I'll do is I'll put that on like 50%. So it'll only do it 50% of the time. Come over to this note, and I'll bring this up by an octave, only 50% of the time as well. Back over to performance. And so what you get is, you get this kind of generative cowbell thing going. And of course, that can be added to any of the notes. It's almost like, and I'm sort of thinking about getting into the electron stuff, it's almost like parameter locks in electron. Sweet. See if we can change this up. I'm going to come over here to multi-wave, and I'm going to take this detune, and I'm going to crank the detune over so the multi-wave becomes a harmonic generator. Oh. Sweet. Well, that's it for this one. If you like this process-based approach, a like or a subscribe really keeps me inspired. I'm Al Clark. This is the 5 Dot Loft. We'll see you next week.